Welcome to Tower Gardening Made Easy, and I'm Sherry. If you're new here, be sure to tap that button below and continue to grow our community. Today, you're going to want to stay tuned because we're going to be doing something a little bit different in celebration of Cinco de Mayo. Hey guys, welcome back. So, for celebration of Cinco de Mayo, which is so much fun, and I love Mexican food, we're going to be making my chicken fajitas that are super yummy and incredibly healthy for you. But one of the ingredients is obviously it's chicken, but the second are peppers. And where can we find some peppers? Right here. I have an incredible full tower of peppers that need to be harvested. And I have my scissors and I have my container. So let's go ahead and harvest some of these peppers off the tower, because it's really, really full. And this tower is pretty much ready to almost be turned over. So, I mean, look at these guys. They're perfect. They're just perfect, perfect, perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab what we need. There's some, I'll grab them in the front. There's a lot of little peppers on here too that I don't know if they'll continue to grow. They've definitely got the color that they're supposed to be, but some are like little ornamental. And then I've got some that are really good size and they're kind of all over the tower. So we're just gonna get the big ones today. But they are everywhere and we're gonna need quite a few of them. So I love Cinco de Mayo. I love Mexican food. And Mexican food, believe it or not, can be healthy if you just get rid of some of the fats. All right, here's another one. Big harvest today, guys. Big, big harvest. This tower is pretty much ready to be turned over relatively soon. So if you've watched some of my other videos, you've seen that I'm growing some other pepper seeds, and they're growing. They're in the nursery, and I actually did a time lapse that I posted as well. So be sure to check that out too. Oh, there's some big ones back here hidden. You know, big for tower, I should say, not for outdoors. What do we got here? Maybe one more. What do we got? This one. How about this one? All right. I think. Let me see. Yeah. What do you think? That's pretty much. That's all I need, I think. So we're going to go ahead and head upstairs, and I'm going to show you how to make this dish. We haven't really played in the kitchen very often, but I'm really, really excited to go ahead and cut and clean these and cook up a nice Mexican dish. Hey guys, welcome to upstairs. I know we haven't been up here in a little while, so I'm really excited to do this portion. So this dish it's just chicken fajitas and basically peppers, and it's just a couple ingredients, and it's super easy to make. So we're going to go ahead. The first step is to take all of our peppers that we got downstairs and just basically wash them and basically gut them and then rough cut them and put them onto a cookie sheet right here. And then we're going to bake them. So let's do this first step first. Okay. So I need to do more cooking stuff with you guys. It's kind of fun to do tower to table because that's basically what this is. All right, so I don't like to waste a lot of the pepper, okay? I really try to use as much as possible. Now, I will say this. We've talked about second generation seeds, and this is how you get them. So inside this pepper, as we all know, there are tons of seeds. And if you've watched any of my videos, all you need to do is take these seeds and scrape them out, put them on a damp paper towel, and then put them inside of a Ziploc bag. But I have plenty of pepper plants for right now, so I don't need to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and discard them. But again, try not to waste too much of the pepper. So let's go ahead and do this. And just put them on the side. I'm really excited to eat these. I think I pulled a couple peppers off the tower so far, and I take them and I would gut them, and then I would put them onto an open flame over the stove, and then just turn, and then scrape off that skin. And then they're really delicious, you know, like over a salad. You can just kind of like put them into a blender and make a sauce with them. So if you like to cook, that's something to do as well. But so I started these back in December. And as you can see from the downstairs tower, it's chock full. I have obviously quite a few of these, you know, I wouldn't call them grocery store large, but they're tower large. But I also have an abundance of those little ones. They're like little ornamental peppers, and I'm not quite sure what I'll do with those. It's a lot of work to cut them and clean them. Much easier for the bigger size. So, to get all of the seeds out. And what I planted was a dwarfed pepper. And they were supposed to be basically yellow and orange. But as you can see from the tower and what I have in my bowl, they're mostly orange. But that's okay. If you've watched any of my videos, as long as they're not green, I don't care. I'm just not a big green pepper person. I like the flavor of the orange and the yellow and the red. The water makes a lot of noise. So, the aroma from these are just amazing. So we will continue, rinse. The great thing about these peppers is that there is no pesticides, herbicides, nothing. There are no bugs. I think on one portion of the tower there was a little bit of fungus, but I was able to kind of get rid of that with a little hydrogen peroxide. So not much of a big deal. But that tower's ready. It's ready to be turned over. And I'm thinking, and so is the strawberry. I need to get down there and pull those as well, and harvest what I can and call it a day. There are strawberries up in that baby green section that I'm going to keep. They just started to flower. But I think what will inevitably happen is that the peppers will go where the new pepper plants will go where the strawberries are. And then I think where the pepper tower is, not quite sure what's going to go there. I might do summer squash. So as you can see, that room is about to do a major turnover. But you have to. I mean, after 4 months of really good growth, it's time to start again, and that's totally okay. I'll go ahead and plant the seedlings, and I'll do that with you guys. I'm going to take those towers apart and clean them really well now that it's warmer, and I can put the power washer outside and not freeze to death. So I'm going to just start transferring these guys to the bowl because I'm running out of room. Got just a couple more to do here. So funny how these peppers are shaped. Some are just the way that they grew. It's kind of interesting. Grown in my basement. It's crazy. Never thought I would be growing vegetables in my basement. But crazy things happen when you go to the store, you move, and you can't find what you need. You adapt. And it's been a lot of fun to do it, to be honest. A lot of fun. Here's a little baby one. The amount of food that I've pulled out of that room, especially the greens, like the lettuce and the arugula. The tomatoes have been amazing. Cucumbers have been amazing. I pulled lots of summer squash and a few zucchini. I'm really hoping to get more zucchini. Okay, so everything's pretty much cut. So I'm going to put them back in this bowl so I can hook up my cutting board. And then see how I pop the stems out? You really don't want to throw those tops out because that's, it's really good. So I'm just going to scatter them onto my cookie sheet. I'm just going to rough cut them. onto the cookie sheet. And they're so fresh. Like you can cut into it in that crisp little noise. I can't. This is going to be so much fun tonight. So just rough cut them. Go. Lots of liquid. I usually do, when I do the store-bought, I'll do 1 orange, 1 yellow, 1 red. But tonight, it's all orange. And that's okay. You definitely want more peppers than you need for this dish because once they cook, they kind of cook down. You can mix onions with this dish as well. I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to use the orange peppers. And I really, as you can see, I think that's probably plenty. So what I'm going to do now, I've got a little left over. I'll save these for salads at some point. All right. Okay, so now the next step is you want to preheat your oven to about 350 for about 15 minutes. So it's just me and my husband. So I like this temperature, 350 for about 15 minutes. And this is just to get the peppers al dente. I like to kind of give them a head start because sometimes, you know, if you're cooking, the next step is to work with the chicken. We're going to do that just now. But I like to give the peppers a head start so that they're nice and al dente when everything is done. So I'm going to just pop them in the oven. And you don't have to grease the pan. You don't have to do anything. No oils. You really kind of want to keep the fats down. That's what makes this so healthy. All right, so the next step is the chicken. So go ahead and you can use any chicken you like. If you want to use chicken breast, I prefer tenders just because it's just easier to lay them right over the peppers. And I've gone ahead and I've pre-washed 1.5 pounds of chicken tenders. And I'll post this recipe in the description at the bottom. So it's 1.5 pounds, but you can use chicken breast, chicken thigh, whatever chicken you want. And 2 packets of taco seasoning, any brand you like, it doesn't really matter. And so you're going to go ahead, and again, this is all pre-washed. And I'm going to take the 2 packets and just dump it right into the chicken. And then 1 cup of water. That's it, just 1. You want the sauce to be kind of thick. And all you want to do is just kind of mix the chicken into the sauce. Just mix it, coating. Just give it a good stir. And then what I like to do is just put this aside and let it rest until the peppers are done. So just let it marinate. I think the peppers are done, so let's go ahead and check on them. All right, I can definitely smell them. They smell delicious. Okay. So I like to just put them on top of a cutting board. And yeah, they look good. So they're just, you know, they just got a little bit, they're perfect. It just gives them a head start. So the next step really is very, very easy. Just take your chicken, give it another little stir. Okay. And then what I like to do, this is why I like to use the tenders because you don't have to cut anything. If you're using breast, I would suggest cutting it or at least pounding it down a little bit thinner. And then you just lay them on top of the peppers. Kind of side by side. And it's okay if they overlap a little bit if you have a lot. What I was saying was my husband and I, so I don't use a big conventional oven, even though you see one behind me. It just takes a lot of energy, and my little toaster oven over here works amazing. It cooks wonderful meals. I can actually do a whole chicken in there. So I'm just laying them on top. Nothing fancy. There we go. Just smells so delicious. And just kind of squish them in there. Now, this can also be done ahead of time. So that's basically what I'm doing right now. So it's not time for me to have dinner. But I wanted to do this video and get it out. So basically what I'm going to do, I've got little chunkies in here. This is what's left for sauce. Now, all you do at this point is just pour the sauce over the rest of the tenders. So you can throw this right back in the oven. I would throw it in the oven for about 350, 355 for about, if you're doing tenders, that's usually about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. If you're doing a thicker breast, obviously a little bit longer. So cook until the chicken is cooked through. So I'm going to go ahead and place them in the oven. Give this a little start. Turn my timer. Oh. So the fajitas are done. So let me go ahead and show you. Oh, the smell. Yummy, yum, yum. So the chicken is perfectly cooked and right on top of the peppers, and I can't wait to serve this. I can't wait to eat it too. So thank you so much. Be sure to catch me on Wednesday for my live podcast at 11 Eastern Standard Time. And again, I think we're going to be doing a few more cooking videos because this was so much fun. And be sure to catch up on all the other videos too. So thank you. We'll see you very soon.